friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Dalia, and today we are once again on my tropical island Guava doing another speed build. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is like my 4th or 5th time trying to do this voiceover, and I just can't get the words to formulate in my mouth. So I apologize if this voiceover is a bit of a struggle. I do greatly apologize. It is very late at night when I'm trying to do this voiceover. I've had a very long weekend. But yeah, we're creating a fake beach. This is the fake beach I've already created on my island. I made a really cool fake beach with like a boardwalk lookout, and then I created a fishing port for Zucker, which you can kind of see on the horizon. But what my plan is for today is to create a fake beach in the middle between this like area of land. I'm gonna kind of create like a fake land bridge where you can kind of see the fake beaches on either side, and then I'm going to be creating the other fake beach on the left side, so you kind of get the basic idea. I've said the word fake beach about probably 30 times already in this like minute intro so far, but yeah, this is where we're going to be building. As you can see where my character's standing, it's going to take up a huge chunk of the left side of my island. This build was actually quite smaller than in my head than it actually ended up being, but nonetheless, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that you guys enjoy. If you do, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more videos like this from me. We're about 2/3 of the way through finishing this island, and after this build, we're going to be really close to like only having a couple of builds left before we're finished. So without further ado, let's just get started. Like I said, I have done this voiceover quite a few times right now, so I'm going to be starting by creating the fake land bridge. Like I said, going to be building up the cliffs, and originally I couldn't decide if this was going to be like a highway where I was going to actually have like the road path that I'm using on my island with cars. I've seen like people like Horrible Gaming make like an actual highway kind of build on the second cliffs or third cliffs of their island, and while I love that idea, it just didn't quite fit to this area. I might create something like that maybe on another portion of my island, but for this particular area, we're just going to be creating like a small land bridge. I've already created a land bridge on the left side of this build, or on the right side of this build, I should say, where Zucker's house is. So I'm kind of basically doing the exact same thing. So I'm just building up these cliffs. There's not a lot of terraforming in this build, I'm going to be honest. After building up these cliffs, I mainly just place a lot of pathing down, mainly a lot of sand pathing, which is very tedious and very time consuming to place down. If you are someone who uses a lot of the in-game pathing on your island, you know how tedious it is placing it down. But nonetheless, so I just placed down that gray stone tile along the perimeter of the fake bridge, and then I'm creating kind of like this faux pink beige kind of marble tile, which I quite like. I think it looks really nice. It's a nice contrast to the other paths I've used on this island so far. I actually just downloaded this one for this particular build, and I'm definitely going to try to use it on another build because it did take up one of my custom design slots, and you know, you gotta really utilize the pathing that you have with the amount of pathing space we have in our custom design slots. So now I've moved on to placing the sand pathing down. I'm not even gonna try to tell you how long it took me to place this pathing down. A while. Probably, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. Probably like a while, and I continue to expand it, so this is not even the last time you'll see me placing down the sand pathing. But then, because I did not finish this section of the beach in my last video for this area, I'm just creating the fencing little section just to cut off the area from the water. I think this is kind of cool because it kind of really does look like the fencing is meant to prevent the water from coming up on the land. And I also did this on the right side of my other land bridge to the other side of Zucker's house, so I'm basically just copying that, and because it just, you know, you gotta be cohesive and place things down in the correct areas, you know? Nothing of what I just said made any sense. But anyway, now we are placing down my water pathing. Once again, this did take me quite a while to place it down because I did not know exactly how I wanted to place the pathing down, so I do fiddle it with it a lot. I also expand the beach. From what you can see right now, I expand the sand pathing quite a bit. So I just continuously through the video fiddle with the water pathing and my placement of it. But I'm just trying to create like a little mini island right here that I can place like a palm tree down. I did do this on the other fake beach, and I think it's just a nice like little cutoff from just having like the water in that entire area. I also think it's kind of realistic because obviously in like sections of water you have like small islands that have palm trees and fake rocks and flowers and plants and other things like that on there. So yeah, after I finish placing down the pathing, we'll be moving on to expanding the beach a little bit, and then we're also going to be working on some roads. Now my idea for this was I was originally going to have a road just go directly over the water, which I'm still debating possibly doing in another section of the island, maybe like a smaller portion, like a smaller area of it. But for this build instead, what I'm going to do, and once again, I did take inspiration from Horrible Gaming and a couple of other people that I've seen who've done more tropical style islands, like even Colin.Crossing, who's actually the creator of the road design that I'm placing down right now. I'm going to be creating kind of like a fake boardwalk that kind of goes directly over the water that you can access directly from the street. So you'll see me place it down in a few moments and you'll get kind of like a better understanding of what I'm talking about. But what I'm doing right now is just placing this road pathing down. Like I mentioned, it is created by Colin Crossing. If you're curious about the custom design creator code, I do have it listed in my description along with all the other custom designs I'm using for this island if you were curious. But yeah, I'm continuing the road from the last build I actually did on this island, where I created my shopping district, I guess you can call it, for the Able Sisters and Nook's Cranny. I made this really cute parking lot directly next to Nook's Cranny, which I think is probably one of my favorite like little builds I've ever made. It just looks so cute, and I never thought making a parking lot would make me so happy, but I think it turned out so cute. And there's like little shopping carts and like shopping baskets near the area. It just looks really realistic, which for me, creating Animal Crossing islands that look realistic is not my typical style of creation, which I've mentioned. For this island, like creating a more city-like island is completely new for me. This is my first city island, but I think it's probably one of the most realistic builds I've made so far, which has been a lot of fun. So now I'm just placing down the diagonal pathing. This is going to be for the road. I don't decorate the actual road past like what you see me creating here. I just place the road pathing down. But my general idea for this area to the left of the island, which I will decorate in a future video, is kind of creating like a really fun neighborhood for a couple of my residents along the beach. So either their houses are going to be on the beach or like directly beside it. And I'm hoping to create kind of like a beach neighborhood. Let me know if you think that's a cool idea. I think it'd be kind of fun to create. But I'm just creating this small diagonal road, which if you've experimented with using pathing like this and creating like diagonal roads, you understand how complicated and annoying it is placing this pathing down. It's pretty easy once you get a feel of it, but if you're someone who's not used to creating this type of pathing or actually placing this type of pathing down, it can be really challenging and kind of complicated. But there are a lot of tutorials on like YouTube, and I think I've seen some on Instagram too if you're curious about how to place this type of pathing down. It is quite self-explanatory once you get familiar with the pieces and how you're supposed to place them down. But like I mentioned, I struggle. I'm not gonna lie, I do struggle. And I also haven't consistently decorated on this island in a little while. So it has taken me a little while to get used to using this type of pathing again and to place this type of pathing down, but I'm doing okay, I think. If you see me screw up or you see if a tile is incorrectly placed, trust me, I fully know it's not perfect, but I'm trying my best. So then I'm just continuing placing down the road path, and once I was satisfied with that, we moved on to, like I said, expanding the beach pathing, because I did mention that I was originally going to have the road go directly over the water. I have since decided to create that little boardwalk. I unfortunately did have to get rid of some of my pathing to place the sand pathing underneath, and then I'm just placing the road pathing down again. This honestly gave me a moment to look to make sure I was placing the road pathing down correctly before moving on. But after extending the sand pathing, I'm going to be showing you guys this little fake boardwalk style bridge that I'm going to be creating. So I'm using this vertical like deck tile path, which I think for the colors of this area, I think works perfectly. I love that color of the white water, and really just kind of trying to make the water look like it's coming up to like a shoreline. Let me know if you think it's weird to have the water go all the way up to my road on the left there. I do create like a section off with the hedges, which you'll see me place down later on, but let me know if you think it's weird to have the water go all the way to the road. If you think if maybe I should cut it off better or in a different way. Just with the placement of everything, it just made the most sense to me to place it down the way that I did. But yeah, then just to mirror what I did on the right side of the fake bridge, I'm just placing down this fencing once again. And I really do like how this fencing looks placed up against the cliffs. It really does section off the fake water to the land bridge quite nicely. And I am extending out the pathing again. I feel like at this point, if I just keep mentioning it, you guys are gonna get bored. So as you can see, I'm extending it, you know? And then something, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in this version of my voiceover so far, but I wanted to create a volleyball court on this island, like a beach volleyball court, considering we have the volleyball net. But I just downloaded this sand line design, which I think looks so perfect for a volleyball court. And then I placed a volleyball net, which I just think it looks perfect. So then I'm just running around placing down some palm trees. I didn't want there to be too many palm trees on this section of the beach, considering I wanted the volleyball court to be like the most standing out like factor of this build. And I obviously will be utilizing a lot of items to make that possible. So obviously I use the volleyball net, then I use the ball catcher, I use the ball that kind of looks like the volleyball, obviously. And then because I wanted this to look like more of like a professional volleyball court, I also placed down the scoreboard and then some plastic benches on either side as well. I just love how this area ends up turning out. I think the colors, which are mainly like yellow and green and white, just look really beachy and tropical. I think it like also looks a lot more like it's very matchy with like the palm trees and the fake I don't know, like the fake water. Just I don't know, I think this area just looks so like tropical and it's giving like really fun beachy vibes. Anyway, moving on, I'm placing down this white like wooden plank design. I originally did not know why I was placing this down. I was just placing it down to kind of like have like a transition from like the boardwalk to like the area where the volleyball court is. And then I did not know what I wanted to place here for fencing. Fencing, like the actual fencing in game, completely cut this area off and made it impossible to walk on. And the fencing would not line up with the boardwalk properly, so I used the log stakes in kind of like the white birch color. Like how cool does that look? I was debating between using like safety railings. or even like the steel fence, but I think that the log, especially with the color of the boardwalk itself, just looks so perfect, and it's exactly how I pictured it in my head, and I just think it's perfect. I of course had to make like 20 log stakes for that, but I think it's worth it. And then going back to this area here, I'm just placing down, you know, street lamps, utility pole, utility?
Huh? What? Oh. Okay.
Wow. Utility poles. Like I said, I have done this voiceover way too many times at this point. And then to cut off the sections from the water from the street, I placed these wave breakers. Let me know if you think that this is good enough to kind of section off the water from the street, or if I should just change how the water looks. I can't decide. I don't know if it's good enough. And then I placed down some wheat fields using in this really pale green color, just because I think the pale green looks so good on the sand. It actually looks like the very tall grass that you actually see on beaches. And then this area next to the plastic benches, I'm just placing down a couple of bottle crates, and then I'll be placing down like, you know, like a water bottle. I go back to that area in a little while and put like a cassette player, just kind of like a couple of like random things you would see on a beach. And then I'm placing this incline directly behind the beach, so I'm just building up a cliff. I originally did not know if I was going to be placing an incline here, but I think the entire back section of this island is going to be completely on the second and third tier, so I just wanted to have the incline built. And I also have an incline built next to Zucker's house using the white plank incline, and I think having them kind of match each other on either side looks good. And because I didn't want to completely leave the cliffs bare behind the volleyball court, I didn't place any simple panels down like I have been doing up against the cliffs. I just placed those fences in the more greenish turquoise color, just because I think it matches with all the green that I've been using on this build so far. And then because it is a beach that people can actually, like, you know, swim in, I also create a little lifeguard area. I actually completely forgot that this was an item, but yeah, I used it. And then I am creating a little more like realism along the areas of the street by putting down some more curved street lamps. And look how cute Drift is. I'm going to be making one of the houses along like the beach block area a spot for Drift. I think he's become one of my favorite frog villagers. He's just so cute. But yeah, and then I decided to make like a little bus stop here. I think this looks really cute. Once again, just utilizing items I don't really decorate with typically, like the one that's from Pocket Camp, like the little camp, the OK Camper pole. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. And then I'm placing down a bunch of the like cars on the street, and then placing some coconut trees, and really just trying to fill in the areas along the street the best that I can. And then I moved on quickly to just putting down a couple of the cracks and the water designs in the middle of the road, just to kind of break up the asphalt a little bit. I like how different and unique it makes the asphalt look. It looks a little more realistic because obviously when it comes to like roads, you're gonna have cracks in the tile, you're gonna have like spills on the street, and I just think it looks a little more realistic. So then I quickly placed the incline down like I mentioned I was going to do, and I love how this incline and this wooden plank design just match so perfectly. I just think it's absolutely perfect. I do not know what is going to go on the second tier of the back of my island. I'm debating putting my museum up in the back corner just because I still don't know how I'm going to be decorating it yet. But yeah, and then I'm placing down just like a couple more miscellaneous items. I placed a destination signpost. I like once again how this white version just kind of matches the more white items around like the beach boardwalk design and everything else, and just really just trying to finish up the area and just add a couple more items down here and there. We're basically almost finished the build, I think, and the last little spot I have to just decorate it is the actual like fake beach or fake bridge that I created. Like I mentioned, I've already created a fake bridge like this before on the right side of Zucker's house, so I didn't know exactly what to place here. This one is a lot more, first of all, it's a lot longer than the other one, and it's a lot more like, I don't know, matchy. Like the other one doesn't have everything lined up. This one has everything kind of lined up. So I used a lot of like the plant partitions, a couple of plastic benches, and then yeah, I was trying to throw down items that I knew, I don't know, that would look cute on like a little fake bridge area. And then the last thing I'm doing is just walking around placing down some shells on the beach. And then I just wanted a little something right here, so I placed a couple of decoy ducks to look like, you know, like fake, like pigeons or like ducks that you could feed bread to. And yeah, that is everything. So I quickly, you know, time traveled to a nice time of day where it's bright and sunny. And yeah, you guys have already seen this build as you've been hopefully watching this whole video with me from start to finish. But without further ado, let's check out the whole build all together, everything completed. And yeah, let's go check it out. Alright, that is everything for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this build. A little challenging, did take me a couple days to complete, but I enjoyed the creation of it overall. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like on the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos from me. And my next build is going to be on my spooky medieval island of Grim Isle, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you guys all have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!